Hello and welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage and today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin. Before we jump into the price action, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below in the comments section. Okay, so let's get into the fun stuff here. So we were talking about the fact of looking to hold this support box here at this 23,767 to this 23,320. So we did manage to hold this zone and we have started to move away. So this could be setting us up for a move to the upside here where we're looking for an additional fifth wave. And if we do move up, some of the areas I'd be cautious of would be this 25,370, which would be this one-to-one of the wave one. And then alternatively up here, this 2.618 of the wave one from the bottom would also come in here at this 25,654. So that'll be an interesting area if we do move up into this zone. It would also coincide with potentially a retest of this channel that we've sort of been interacting with here and there within the move. So that's a zone that we would be looking for potentially to find some resistance. Alternatively, we also do have this, which is moved now. Basically, this yellow line, which is connecting up these tops, which is currently sitting directly above us towards this zone of this 25,700 as well. So, there's some confidence within that area. If we did move up higher, some areas of interest would actually be this 0.382 of the entire move down, which would be this 273 it's 27399, and this 0.618 of the wave 1 to 3, which would actually be up here at this 27,540. So, this would be some interesting areas. This would also be the top of this box range that we're talking about as a rejection. So that's a 1.618 of that A wave if we're looking for a fourth wave to the upside. So, these are some interesting zones if we do move up into them. So the way we're looking at the move currently is we'd be looking at this. I'm going to just turn this off. So there's a couple of ways of looking at it. We were talking about this one possibility where we could have actually completed into here. So this is still viable for the most part. So we'll be seeing how we actually move to the downside here and see if we do actually get a deeper move here. And look at this as a 1-2. Alternatively, we can also just count this into this high point. So effectively, the other way I'm looking for it, as long as we actually hold this zone here of this 23,304 to this 27,749, 23,749. Effectively, what we could still be looking for is this move to the upside to play out as a fifth wave. So as long as we hold this low point here of this 23,574, we can look for the potential to actually look to break to the upside here. Though, like I said, it's crucial we hold this 23,574. Otherwise, this could just be a continuation and we could look to push down low. So this is what I'm looking out for in the shorter time frame. If I go into here, we're going to turn on the internals of this move. I might actually just turn this off for a second. So what we'd be looking for would be the potential to actually form something like this, where we look at this as a 1, 2, look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, and then we're actually looking for this fourth wave to play out. So we've come down into the zone for the most part. We could come down a little bit lower. 50% retracement would actually take us back to this 24,162. And then we could actually look to rally to the upside. Like I said, it's potentially possible that we are completed already into here and we could be looking for this move up to this zone of this 24,797 to this 24,690, provided we don't have any further extension within these. If we do move up into this zone, what I'd then be looking for would be that potential of this being a wave 1, coming back down for a wave 2. So the support zone for this would actually be around this 24,139 to this 23,814. If we start to lose this lower zone here, it starts to become less probable that we actually can get this playing out. And if we do actually move down below this 23,972, it would actually invalidate this fifth wave to the upside here. So we just need to keep an eye on it. Really, until we actually lose this low, it could still be something like this, where we form this as the 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we come back a little bit lower, and then we look to push up in a bigger structure. So even if this fourth wave doesn't form, it doesn't necessarily invalidate the potential for that impulsive structure to the upside. However, it becomes less likely unless we manage to hold above this point of this 23 651. We could argue that potentially this would be a fourth in here, where this becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But I don't really like the structure. I'd prefer it to have a bigger fourth as we are sort of forming here. So for as long as we hold this 24,162 zone, we can look to potentially push up for this fifth wave. A wick down past this is fine, but we wouldn't want to see a substantial move system or past this zone. It wants to, if it does move down, come down and then start to break to the upside again. So this will be my primary expectation. This would also tie up with actually retesting this channel line here. So that could be an interesting zone. If we did see something like this, we could see a test of this channel, come back down, retest the channel bottom, and then actually look to progress. Obviously, it doesn't have to happen like that, but that would be quite a nice little entry point here if we have a look at it off of this channel line. What we'd be looking for would then be further confirmation and pushing towards the upside here, possibly up towards this 26,220 to this 26,075. This would be provided we can push up into the zone here of this 25,971. So we're talking about, obviously, we've got a lot of these technical targets that are also sitting lower here. So we'd have to just be a little bit careful that we don't end up getting a truncated wave here or something to that effect, where we actually don't quite make it as high as this zone and we fall short. So we're going to have to keep an eye on it. These zones are definitely going to be worth keeping an eye on if we do move to the upside here. We can also see that basically that 26, this higher range of this 26,270 to this 26,075. That would also tie in with actually a retest or actually a test of the top of this fifth wave target area that we work off of the fourth. So this could also be an interesting zone. This 26,156 would be that 1.618 reverse fib of that fourth. So that'll be an interesting zone if we do actually push up into it. And yeah, I mean that's what I'm currently tracking for. As long as we actually hold this 23,574, we can look for that potential to push up here. However, we also need to be mindful that if we start to lose that zone, what we could still have if we want to talk about bullish potentials, is that we could argue that we actually completed into this high here, and we're looking to actually retrace down for this wave too. And this whole move could actually be effectively a part of that. So if this is the case, what we'd be looking for is actually a move down here, bit deeper towards this 23,242 to this 22,127. We fail to hold this zone, then it would become likely that we're going to be actually moving down past this low here. And we have talked about it for a while that potentially we could argue that we have set a high here. It's met the minimum requirement for this fifth wave. It's hit some net technical targets as well. So we just need to be cautious that we don't start to break down. But for as long as we hold, like I said, this 23,574 for that immediate bullish pattern, or alternatively, even if we do come back down one more time and potentially we form this as a W, X, and a Y, or something to that effect, we can make one more low here. Then we could still look for the potential to actually push up for a bigger five-wave structure. So we need to just keep an eye on this. If we actually break down and lose this low of this 21,354, this will be a zone that would invalidate continuation to the upside here in this manner. So if we do lose this zone, what I'd be anticipating then is that actually we completed into this high, and then we're going to be looking for that retracement lower down into the support box here, this 27 at 757 towards this 17,104. What we need to be careful though is, like I said, we could argue that we still have this is a flat correction here. So we just need to be a little bit cautious of this. If we do start to see a bigger break to the downside in an impulsive structure, then potentially we could actually look to actually take out these lows of this 1546, and we'd have to see exactly where that top comes in to get a good target area for that. But if we had to argue that the top was in already at this point, what I'd be looking for would be towards this 13,762 and this 11 408. So these are still possibilities that we could see something like this play out. So we just need to be aware of that on the bigger picture. It is still possible to move down. Only really by moving into the support box and finding support can we look for that next bullish phase. And what we'd be looking for is a three-wave move down into this. We wouldn't want to see a five-wave structure into this. We want to see a nice three-wave move down into this zone and then look for that potential to actually push up. If we fail to hold this zone, like I said, it looks more likely that we're going to go down. So talking about the potential of the downside here, what I'd be looking out for within this is there's two ways that I'm currently looking at it. And effectively, the corrective way would actually just be looking for that one-to-one target at the moment, which would be this 23,375 to this 23,339. If we do look to push down one more time, that would be the ideal spot to come in as a one-to-one. However, it would potentially be more likely that we're extending out here. If that's the case, we could look to basically form this as an A, a B, and then we're actually breaking down for a continuation. The C wave could actually be here, and we could form sort of an X wave in here, something like this, and then actually break down one more time for a deeper ABC pattern. Alternatively, we can also argue that it is completed here and that we could look to start to push up, but it's not perfect. But I am also I've just got this plotted out at the time for the time being, looking for how we react to the upside here. So if we do continue to get rejection below this high point here of this 25,252, we need to be aware that, we can argue that potentially we could count this as a diagonal to the downside here. And then we could be looking to form a wave two. So if we do face rejection in this area, what I'd be looking out for is basically to see whether we form something like this. I am anticipating, like I said, that potential for another move to the upside here. But if we don't get that fourth and fifth, we can also then potentially argue that this has just been a three-wave structure, where this is an A, B, and a C, because we didn't get that fourth and a fifth. And then we could just look to break down from there. So we need to just be a bit cautious of it. If we do get that additional push up, what I'd be looking for is whether we get that support and whether the next move to the upside actually manages to take this high. If it doesn't, then it opens up a couple of possibilities. If we just form a zigzag to the upside like this, we can start talking about the potential of triangles being quite likely then, just because, well, it wouldn't be confirmed until we actually get the D wave, but we could see something like this playing out where actually we form a bigger structure here, the A, B, C, D, and then E. Obviously, this is subject to change as we get the trend line on the top come in, but something to this effect. We could still look for that possibility of having a triangle within here. And this could have been the other way around. If we do A, B, C, could be looking for a D wave. What we need to see here is if we do form this zigzag, whether we manage to stay within these ranges. If we do continue to stay within these ranges below this 25,256 and above this zone here, or actually it would be here at this point, this 23,574. We can look for that potential to actually form a triangle within this space, but yeah, until we actually invalidate that bullish count, I do think that we could still see that potential push to the upside here. So just going to have to keep an eye on it and track this internal wave here. If we do fail to hold that support box that we talked about, then potentially we can start to look at something like this. This would have to change, though, in my opinion. We'd have to potentially look at this as a one and a two, and then potentially looking at the fact that we could have formed another one and a two, and then actually look to break down. So this would actually only get confirmed by a much deeper move. That move would have to move down. So I'm just using the current structure here. That move would have to move down past this 22,013 for validation, and that would then be looking for this to potentially play out as a deeper corrective structure here, looking for something like this where we get that as a five-wave move. which would then actually push this third wave lower down here. So yeah, I mean, it is all possible, but really until we actually break these lows here of this 23,574, we do still have that bullish potential to the upside. So we're going to have to just watch this retracement to the downside that we get off the back of this move here, and see whether it manages to find support in that key area, and see whether we actually look to continue up. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave us some feedback down below, and also in the description you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. In the description you'll also find referral links for BYBIT and BT, both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you don't have an account, check them out. Using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. They do have deposit bonuses. More information can be found on their websites by clicking on the links down below. Everyone, have a great day. See you in the next